Hey, how you doing, Reject Nation? I'm Greg Elba. And I'm John Humphrey. Late to watching the Punisher trailer because I was fixing my car again. Alternators, micro, starters in the car. Not working properly. Late to reactions.
Muchas gracias, senoritas and senors, to everyone who's been following us on our Patreon page. Shouting it out here right now because we do weekly Q&As and TV show reaction watch-alongs for shows like My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Attack on Titan, Super the Natural, Gotham, and also Riverdale. We got some things in the pipeline that we want to be covering soon. Don't know if we're going to cover the Punisher. It's a bit of a slow burn. We'll consider it.
Because he's the Punisher.
I had to get involved.
To punish people.
Ouch!
Wow.
At a bar? Whoa.
Yeah, it's almost like you were happy for the excuse.
He's healing well.
Those people.
I don't know.
Josh Stewart?
You're hiding something.
Playing a guy named John Pilgrim, I think. Oh, cool.
It kills everybody that I've ever cared about. How do you think that feels?
Oh, he's...
I know. A friend of mine betrayed me. I dream about the Punisher every night. He thinks that he has the right to judge me. I want him to feel what I felt.
He looks great.
Yeah, he looks almost fine.
More cash on the girl. But also snack. Candy has an army.
Wow.
Frank, people are gonna die. I'm gonna end it. I'm not the one who dies, kid.
Ooh!
Just kill him.
Whoa! Ooh. That looks like practical blood.
She's got some serious issues.
Damn!
Let me be what I'm meant to be.
Gotta have a bathroom fight.
Yeah. Gotta break a sink over some dude's face.
Do this someday.
I'll need some money. Not suspicious at all.
Marvel humor!
Self-awareness.
That's not what that
Self-awareness. Oh, there might be some action in that show.
Wow.
Somebody might get hurt.
For starters, they have amped up the punishment for sure on this one, man. It seems like it's going to just go a lot crazier than last season. The first season was very much a slow burn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So much slower than I even anticipated. I really liked it, but it was, especially in the beginning, like getting off the ground was like...
That first like 6 or so episodes. I remember everybody being like, no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm waiting for it to take off, but you know, it's got some good ideas, good acting.
Everything's just going to be like twice as batshit in this one. I like plots of victim
Love plots.
females
Big fan of plots.
who need action hero to help them out.
I was thinking about
We
that,
don't
like,
get enough of that. Yeah.
older badass guy with a penchant for brutal murders is now looking after a young
Yeah.
woman, usually blonde.
I think it's actually smart to bring back Billy Jigsaw in this one. I mean, obviously they set him up to be Jigsaw in this season. It is smart to bring him back because when you watch season 1 and how that ends, you go, where's the room for Frank to grow now, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's ending on a path where he should leave this life behind.
Yeah.
But, you know, recovery is not as simple as that. His version of relapse is this shit. Yeah.
Especially when recovery involves not mass murdering.
So still being haunted by the past in that element, I'm kind of bothered by the fact that the guy who plays Jigsaw looks so good still.
I gotta give it to Punisher Warzone. Like, that's what I think of when I think of Jigsaw. Like, his face is destroyed, and in this one it's kind of like every movie where they're like, I'm so ugly with my perfectly placed cool scars. You know, he's got like a couple scars, which sucks.
I mean, it looks like he's gonna be wearing a mask that resembles the Jigsaw.
Yeah, it looks like his gang is Hollywood Undead.
But, you see what happens in the first season, where he just scrapes his whole face. I'm like, that's amazing surgery.
That's all the damage that was left by that?
I thought it would be cool that if the first season everyone's talking about how pretty he is, and I watched this whole show with my girlfriend, and just the whole time she's just like
Masturbating.
ejaculating in her pants, like just watching that damn season.
Ladies cream for
Yeah,
Billy Barnes.
he's a very attractive guy, and then you you mess up his face. Then you bring him back here, and you're like, he still looks pretty
He's still
good.
pretty.
Yeah.
He's still pretty. He's just edgy pretty.
I actually read a whole interview with Josh Stewart last
yeah.
week. I think I read it. I forgot most of it, but the big takeaway I got from reading that interview, he's like an alt-right Christian character, and he's not exactly just evil. He's not just full-blown evil. I mean, obviously he's an antagonist here,
But he doesn't believe he's evil.
that was so cool to read that interview because it's a very lengthy interview. I think I read it from Collider, and the way he does talk about it,
We don't talk about it.
he was never just very one note about everything he was answering. Like, this character is someone who just has a very specific set of beliefs, and he's living by those beliefs, to such a degree that it conflicts heavily with Frank Castle's beliefs. That's the way how it was at least being described in this interview.
So it's as much an ideological battle as it is probably a physical one.
I'm not exactly sure because they have to be a little bit discreet in terms of plot mechanisms. But from what I was hearing, that made me go, "Wow, that sounds like a really unique take to have for a defined villain this season around, and to be working alongside with Jigsaw." I mean, the action does look cool. It does look a lot better. I did see that. Who's that Twitter guy that everyone follows? Daniel RPK or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
The guy who you get like, this trailer's coming out. That dude. He did say that he wasn't a fan of this season, that he already caught it. It was a letdown. I don't know how much notes they're taking from the reaction of the first season. Are they gonna, amp up the energy this time around? Because that first season starts off really slow and then gets quicker as the season goes. The vibe I'm getting here is that this is just gonna go like full on brutal throughout,
Yeah, I mean, this seemed pretty insane, and like there's some kind of chase element or something, because it looks like they're out on the road or something,
Yeah.
as well as, all this other chaos going on in the flashbacks and all that. It could have like a kind of percolating tension the whole series, hopefully anyway.
This season actually kind of reminds me of Dexter season 5. I know you haven't seen Dexter, but the plot of that season, woman was, that one, she's assaulted. She's a victim. And then she uses Dexter's help to go after the men to get revenge. And that's what we're getting here. She's not assaulted, but it sounds like a lot of people she loved were killed, and now they're gonna go get revenge. It's a plot we've seen in a lot of movies, but even like a reflection of Dexter being a killer, and then you got Frank Castle, who's definitely a killer. Yeah, it seems like they have this theme of, you seem like you like actually doing this. And Daredevil, he had a purpose because he's hurt. Season 1, he's looking for closure. And then here, it's like, what do I do now that I've completed my mission? He still has this void in him. I hope they still keep it as character piece. I like the themes of dealing with PTSD in the first season. I'm wondering if they're going to continue that thematic element, or if they're going to explore other elements, or it's just going to be a full-on action show this time.
I mean, I gotta imagine that they're gonna bring in at least some character stuff, just because, I was really excited to see Josh Stewart, partly because he's kind of like Logan Marshall Green for me, where I've seen him in a bunch of indie things, and I think he always brings a lot of layers to his characters and stuff like that, and I feel like he's an actor you would hire if you want somebody who's gonna be able to give you both a physical presence and a pretty strong emotional palette.
Yes.
And especially since he's like the new character, and I get the sense he's, one of the main probably antagonists, I feel like that'll create some interesting character tension, hopefully anyway.
And of course, there's a bathroom fight. Yeah. Gotta have your obligatory bathroom fights.
Gotta make people uncomfortable every time they set foot in a public restroom.
That's
jumped
the new action trope.
Yeah.
Fight in the bathroom.
Fist cock and everything. That's what I want.
That's where we have it at. Before we wrap this up, I want to give a Patron of the Day shout out to a handsome man named Derek Mitchell. Derek, I know you had some rough patches this last year. I know towards the end of 2018 it was rough, but 2019 you're gonna kick this year's ass. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna punish last year's ass by kicking this year's ass. That's what I do with people. If someone hurts me, I take it out on someone else, and that's what you're going to do with this year. 2018 sucked. 2019, you're going to destroy it. I don't know if I'm implying that you're going to cause damage or harm to other people and yourself, or you're going to make a lot of positive strides in your life. Whatever the case is, you're going to make an impact, and that's what matters most.
Personally, I'm rooting for a little bit of both because you need tension in your life.
I think you should start off dark.
Yeah.
Then get even darker.
Start off as Frank, get out there, let your heavies out,
And
then,
then
get
turn.
into your micro jam for a little while, mellow out, and then just go full on, Punisher.
Or Jigsaw.
Or
Whichever
Jigsaw,
one you
yeah.
want. Subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. And check us out on Patreon. We got goodies. There's dust here. See you guys.